Hey guys, my name's Peter Hurley and you are in the Peter Hurley studio, and here's a piece of plexiglass that I used to use in order to take pictures if I wanted a reflective surface. This one's actually opaque, but I used to use a solid glossy one. And the problem with it is one, it breaks, as you can see here. It's really freaking heavy and it just sucks. I can't stand it, I can't travel with it, I can't go out of the studio with it, so I don't need it anymore. What I do need is ProBoard. I need ProBoard. I almost knocked down all the lights. Should we do another take? Hey guys, my name's Peter Hurley, and today we're going to talk about ProBoard. We're in my studio in New York, and this is a sheet of plexiglass. It's opaque, but I shoot all the time on plexiglass. I used to have to go down the street to this store, lug it up to here. It's ridiculously heavy. I can't roll it around. I can't take it anywhere out of the studio. I could only use it in here. It breaks. It's not cool. I wanted a portable solution. So what did I come up with? I came up with ProBoard. I've got three variations. I've got glossy ProBoard white. I've got matte ProBoard white matte, right? And I got black matte as well. And I'm going to show you all three today. So what would you need this for? You don't need it anymore. You can get rid of it. It's gone. We don't need that. So there we go. So now let me show you the goods. All right. Comes in a nice bag. We got a nice bag for it. Look at this stuff. Amazing. Hurleypro logo right there on our bag. What can you do? Easily travelable, lightweight. You can actually put stands and stuff in here, throw it over your shoulder, and you're off to your shoot. No problem, right? Now, glossy surface works great for products. I use it as a floor, and I also use it as a background. Here's a simple way to do it. I'm going to show you how to take it out of the bag. Usually what I do is I flip it upside down. I whip the bag off, I get rid of the bag. It's got Velcro on it with little Hurleypro tabs. So what I can do is I can just whip the top one off, and like that, keep the tab in place on here. This tab stays in place so you know the right size to make it when you're gonna roll it up, but we'll go over the roll up later. So on the second one, you gotta be more careful, all right? When you let this thing go, this thing's got some spring to it. So we don't want it to spring around like crazy. So what I'm gonna do is it's also got some curl. So we might need some sandbags to hold it down because there is a portability. It's majorly portable. It's gonna curl because you're rolling it up. It's got an acrylic cap on it. It's gonna curl up. If you don't want it curled up and you want it to lay flat, leave it in your studio, keep it flat, keep some weight on it. Hold the board when you take the second one off, people. The edges are sharp. You let it go, it's gonna spring. It's gonna go nuts. You gotta let it go slowly. You gotta let it expand slowly like this, all right? You let it expand, flip it down, you roll it out. I'm gonna use the sandbag to keep it on both sides. When I'm shooting, I either put sandbags on it or I use gaffer's tape. But I now have a portable product that I can use, and I can take it with me, and I got reflective surface, beautiful reflective surface ready to go, all right? And after being out of a bag for a while, it will get its act together for you, but it's really nice. It's a fantastic surface, and I've been using it quite some time. The ProBoard Gloss was the first one to come out. So what did we do? I realized that I do a lot of video, and I was like, wait a minute, the gloss, it creates all sorts of beautiful reflections. You get that little shadow under the feet that's perfect. It's great for that. I was using it as a backdrop, and I got the reflection of my lights. You could see when you lift it up, you could see how reflective it is. You could see the reflection of the lights. So, what did we do? See the reflection of those suckers? So what did we do? We decided to go for matte. I went with matte black and matte white, so I've been shooting matte all the time. Now let me show you, since I'm gonna roll this one up, and I'm gonna get the black matte. So hold on. So what do we do? Very simple. I'm gonna tell you right now, this has an acrylic cap on it. The matte ones are easier to roll. This one's a little bit more difficult. We're gonna roll it back up. So we've got our little Hurleypro tab right here that you can see. We're going to attach this right to it, and we're going to have the right diameter for the roll. You don't want to go too tight because the board can crack. There is a warning label that comes with the board. I'll show you in a minute. All right, so we do this, we do this, we do this. We're going to keep these, we're going to put these towards the end of where we're going to roll the board to. All right, we're going to start on this side and we're going to roll it this way. You want to keep the white side of the board pristine. Always lay it down on the black. The cap is on the acrylic white. So if you ever want to shoot the black, go nuts. But don't worry about the finish on it or anything. I actually like my blacks to get beat up a little bit, so I've got some texture back there. That's what the matte black is all about. Now the key for this is the initial roll. It's always going to roll back like this when you just take it out of the bag. But as you use it, it'll flatten out a little bit. So the initial roll can't be too crazy. You want it to be tight, but not too tight. Let's just do it. I'm going to roll it up. Let me get the weight on this side so that you guys can see it. All right. What I do is I put these down at the end because that's where I'm headed. I start the initial roll. The initial roll is extremely important, all right? You put it down, you get it tight. You want it tight, you put it down like this. You start the roll. You got to hold it tight so it doesn't expand. If you don't get the initial roll right, forget it, you're done. You go back, you start over again, all right? Let me give you a trick for the initial roll. One is you want to keep your knees up against the board, all right? Two, you get it down like this. You want the initial roll tight, but not too tight. If you roll too tight, it will crack. It's going to crack. Be careful. Use your elbow, bring it in, bring it down, roll it over. Now you got it. Hold it tight with two hands. Now I got big hands, it's not going anywhere. If you could do this with another human being, do it. It's much easier. All right, you come in, you roll it up. You get to the end. What's waiting for you at the end? These perfectly sized. I got my things to the perfect size. I use my knees. I put it up on my knees. Flip this over on one side, come down a little bit, flip it on the other. Just like this. Come down a bit, let it slowly expand. Boom, just like that. Again, take the Pro bag. Meanwhile, being careful of the edges because it is sharp. Pro bag. Flip it over and I'm off to the races. Now, how much space you got in there? You got quite a bit of space in there. Anything you want. I travel with it, so I usually want to keep it pretty light, but I'll put light stands. I'll put my tripod. Sometimes I'll throw some clothes in there, whatever it takes. Now, I want to show you the difference in the product line. So here we go. Here you can see this bag I've actually traveled with. I got my tag on. They travel great. You throw them on a plane, no problem. I travel all over the place with these things. So open it up, flip it over, put it down, pull it out, just like that. Now, here, I want you to read this warning label on this one. This is the ProBoard matte white, so this one had the label on it. The gloss comes with an acrylic cap on it, and it's got a sheet on it, and on the plastic sheet is the warning label. But read this sucker. So, Hurleypro, warning, ends of the board are sharp. Got to be careful of that. Bending the board excessively will cause it to crack. Do not make it less than 8 inches in diameter. And keep the Hurleypro tab here so you don't have to worry about it, so the diameter is already right. This is a little Velcro tab that you can take off, but leave it on. If you have to reset it, you can reset it. But if you leave it there, you're in business. And the hook and loop, you want the loop on the outside, the soft part on the outside, so when you put it in the bag and stuff, it doesn't get caught on anything. If you put the hook on the outside, you're going to be a mess. Don't do that. Again, take one off, you're fine with the first one. Second one, don't go crazy. All right, second one, you got to keep a hold on it, right? I got the board pretty tight here, right? And then you can slowly let it go. Now I want you to look at the difference between this board in the reflection and the other board you just saw. Here it is. So that's why I went matte white. I can use it for video. You get a nice flat, really flat white, and I use it as a background. I now have a background everywhere. I am no longer bringing seamless paper anywhere with me. I'm not bringing seamless paper anywhere with me, guys. No longer bringing seamless paper. I got this. It's perfect. All right, so obviously you can see this board lays flat a lot easier. It doesn't have that acrylic cap, so you got an easier roll on the way back up, but it's the same story. Put your tabs back on. Tabs back on. I'll just do a quick roll here. This one's a piece of cake. Rolls easier. This is a one-man job. The gloss is a two-man job. It's a little bit more difficult. This one-man job. You can do it. Obviously, if you have two people around, always use two people. This one you don't need to worry about so much. It's a piece of cake. I researched a lot of surfaces to get this the way I want it. So for photography, so I hope you guys enjoy it. It's been a great thing for me to have to go on the road. I'm going to clients all the time. I now have product that I can bring with me in a moment's notice. I can pack it up quick and I'm out the door. Let me show you ProBoard Black. This is one of my favorites to date. So I love black and white. I mean, as backdrops, my work is generally pretty clean, and I'm into, neutrals, so I like black, white, and gray. The thing that I didn't mention about the ProBoard White matte is that when I'm shooting stills, I let the light fall off on the back and it goes gray. So I get a nice gray out of that. Now, I made ProBoard matte black. All right, the semi-gloss side is the side you beat up, guys. You want to keep that inside pristine. You always want to roll to this side and you want to keep it like that. Again, same thing with the warning label. And we're going to unroll it the same way. You take the first one off, not worried about it. It's going to be easy. Second one. Now to get this matte to be super matte was awesome. I love it. So what I like is I like having a black background behind my subjects when they're wearing black, and I can see the transition between the two blacks. And that's what the black matte board does. So this is what the black matte board does. Pretty hot, huh? It's awesome. I love it. I've been using it. It's a lot about my new look. We're going to show you how to put it up on a stand next. So I hope you enjoy it. You can buy it at hurleyprogear.com. And here it is. So check it out. So guys, this is what I'm just going to show you how to hang up the ProBoard to use as a backdrop. Sometimes I'm shooting myself. I do it myself. If you have help, always use another human being. It's much easier. But I'm going to show you how to do it yourself. So one thing you're going to need two stands. These are just Manfrotto stands, and I put a sandbag on each one of them. You need the sandbag. You don't necessarily need the sandbag, but if you're careful, once you get it up, it will not fall over. But depending on where you point the legs, if you point the legs in like this leg, all the weight from the board is going to be pulling in because I curve it a little bit. So you have to put a leg in that direction, then it's not going to fall over. But put the sandbag to be safe. Okay, so here we go. We're going to load this sucker up. For the top, I put it inside a super clamp. For the bottom, I just went to Home Depot. I got one of these little bad boys for $2, $3 or something. But I got the super clamp on top. So I jam the board in between the jaws of the super clamp and the stand, generally. But I actually like this pole to be in the back. You want the front of the post to be clean. So you got all this, you don't have the knobs there. So now I'm clean on this. I want to make sure the knobs are in the back on this side. So I will turn it because I want the board to be as flat as possible. If you got one of the turning knobs there, it's gonna bow out. So grab the board, stick it between the jaws here, and you're gonna have to finagle it once you get it going, but you just get it on here. So you tighten it up and get it in. You can lift this up to you want this angle right. So basically you want to go like that. Get that up, now it's up. Don't care about the other side, I do not care. I care about it once I get it on. I'm not gonna raise it. So I don't care about the other side, I let it go. As long as that's clamped, I keep it on the floor like that. Then I go for the other side, boom. Get this in, tighten it up. Clamp the board down on the top. Now, if you have weights on both sides, you have no problem going up on one side and leaving the other one where it is. You should be fine. But I go about halfway, about as high as I want it. Depending on the person's height that I'm shooting, you know, I decide where it's going to go. So I'm right about there now. Now, take the other clamp. I can clamp it on the side. I'm going to go up a little bit higher. And I'm going to just push it like this and put it around like that. And then I'm going to go back to the other side and do the same. Boom. Shebang! Look at that. See? Now I got black background, matte, black on black, perfect, streamlined setup. I can use it to suck light out of people's faces, or I can use the white. If I have the white up, I can use it as a reflector. I got a massive reflector. All right, guys, so there you go. Now you got black ProBoard on 2 stands right up like that. Pretty cool, huh? Piece of cake. I can use it as a backdrop. I can use it. I like people to wear black, and the black, you could see that there's separation between my black and that black. If I pull off of it, I can adjust how dark that goes depending on my lighting and my exposure on my subject. So I really like to pull black on black, and it's one of my favorite looks, and I've been doing it like crazy now. So I hope you enjoy doing it too. All right, guys, so if you want to find out more, you can follow me at peterhurley.com. I also have a coaching website for photographers called ph2pro.com. I also sell a bunch of gear called hurleyprogear.com. So check out the 3 sites, but I'm doing a video series with Eduardo Angel, and we're going to be teaching photographers how to do video because I'm an absolute novice and I need to figure this stuff out.